Welcome to the High Ground Podcast, and we're going to do our first review. And this weekend we went to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino's 9th feature film as director. So what did you think, Callum?
Yeah, I loved it actually. I did think I was going to like it anyway, but yeah, no, it was really good. The only thing was, I went in expecting something totally different, and when it didn't turn out that way, I was kind of bummed out at first, and then I realised, oh, hang on, this is like the way it's supposed to be. You know, this is a spoiler, I assume.
Yeah, let's go for spoilers. If you
Yeah.
haven't seen the film,
So-
stop off now. We're in spoiler.
The main thing I'm thinking of is Sharon Tate surviving and Cliff, absolutely destroyed the Manson followers. But no, I kind of got the vibe as soon as they entered his house they were going to do an Inglorious again and change history. And it's just poetic that it was Aldo Rain again that did it.
I went into it because I don't do gore, I don't do horror, and I expected a gruesome ending, especially with the Sharon Tate, and so I'm literally going, and this is how it's going to end, and especially when they started putting the time coding up on it, I was like, this is it. I don't do blood, especially like that. I thought that was going to be a bit gruesome, and so I was all geared up for this gruesome ending, especially at the start when the BBFC certificate said 18 strong bloody violence. I was like, I'm getting 3/4 of the film in, and I'm like, there's not been really anything, so I was all prepared for this big massacre at the end. And when it didn't happen, I was like, wow. It took a while to get it all in, and I said, I'm going to see this film again. Now that I know the ending, I'll have a different reading the next time.
Yeah, I do need to watch it again actually.
So it does. It works. I think I preferred it on my second viewing when you're not all tensed up.
Yeah, there's a lot to take in, and the end really works for me as well because of the documentary style voiceover from Kurt Russell. It works as sort of like, in a way, like they're saying, this is what happened like up to the hour, and then like Cliff and what's his name again? Rick. Are you just getting out of the taxi now?
Fucking Dalton.
Yeah. And I really like that because you're totally expecting the Tate murders to happen, and then when they don't, you just think, oh, like. I was walking out the cinema. I was like, I actually get the title.
Yeah. Because at the end, it actually comes up with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the title.
Yeah.
And all I thought when it came up was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, they all lived happily ever after. I was like, wow.
Yeah. It's along the same lines of In a Galaxy Far, Far Away, isn't it?
Yeah.
That sort of that mentality of it's also like, I think it's a sort of a funeral dirge to like that old golden age of Hollywood, because 1967 a lot of people say is the end because of Bonnie and Clyde, where the films change and the new Hollywood comes in. And I think this is 1969. I think it's, isn't it? It's the end of the old Hollywood and the beginning of the new. So Once Upon a Time, this is how I remember it. Sort of.
Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth.
Yeah.
Are the old, and Sharon Tate and the Roman Polanski is the new.
The new, yeah.
And one thing I truly loved, I thought it was brilliant, was having Steve McQueen doing the exposition, so you know where you are. I was like, wow, this guy was just brought in to do exposition, and it's just
Damien Lewis is a dead ringer for a young Steve McQueen. And speaking of Steve McQueen, the sequence where Rick's talking about how he messed up the Great Escape audition, that's just so fantastically done. It's just only Tarantino could pull that off, I think.
And unless of course it was really great for aesthetics, but the whole Sharon Tate Margot Robbie watching the real Sharon Tate movie, I thought that was, especially going what you said about they put Leonardo DiCaprio in The Great Escape, but to actually have Margot Robbie Sharon Tate actually watching the real Sharon Tate in the film she did.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, it's playing with convention, and not Tarantino, in the film, how Al Pacino's character said, I watched a 16mm print of this, and I watched a 35mm print. That is pure Tarantino.
Yeah.
And because Tarantino, I remember reading years ago, has a collection of film prints, and he invites his friend around to watch these original film prints. And I thought it was brilliant. I tell you one thing I want, with the after watching, and this is the thing I would actually buy just to put on my wall, is some of the spaghetti western posters, the Rick Dalton ones.
The fake ones.
Yeah, I thought, wow. I can't remember the name of the title, but it was something that got me laughing. It was about the word gringo, and the title has the word gringo in it twice, and it was like, wow.
I mean, because that is the sort of era where the spaghetti westerns are big coming into prominence as well. You know, like the Clint Eastwood ones were the mid-60s, weren't they? So, and everyone knows Tarantino's a film nerd as well, so he knows all these old spaghetti westerns. So these obscure directors that he can put these fake characters and actors into, it's the perfect person to have do that, really, isn't it?
I actually, this is the thing. I actually thought, the whole Sharon Tate story, was a red herring.
Yeah, because it kind of was, wasn't it?
Yeah, because you're watching it and you're just waiting for you've been they intertwined, but I thought that was going to be, and of course the Manson family. I thought this is the heart of the film. This is the big climax, but having that there just to throw us off guard, and it's just really about this washed up actor and his stuntman buddy, and I was just like, you've got reality and fiction playing side by side, and in the end, when you have the overlap at the end, it is so rewarding, and it's just fantastic for that alone.
I think it's also, I got the impression as well, it's like Tarantino saying, the murders were horrible, but fuck that, I'm not going to remember that, I'm going to remember the good stuff, like the old Hollywood where actors and stuntmen were big back then. There was no CGI, there was special effects, that was the real golden age of Hollywood, and I don't think it was ever recaptured again, because in the 70s we had everything just took off after Star Wars, didn't it? So before that is the last old guard of Hollywood, and I think that's what he sort of reminisces about in it.
The old studio system, where if a star was under contract, they had to do the film if they didn't like it.
And being put on TV was like your death knell, wasn't it? Like back in those days.
But let's look at the casting. I mean, the casting's superb. My favourite character, other than of course Brad Pitt, was Janet. I just thought she was just.
Brilliant.
She was like, because she's referred to. Then when you see her, find out who she is, and she is. This is anyone that goes on about Tarantino being, sexist and everything. Look who his stunt coordinator is on the film.
Exactly,
he gives his stunt coordinator a legit part in the film. She doesn't do any stunts.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, I mean, that's not deliberate, because if you go back to Kill Bill when she was
Uma Thurman's level,
And then you look how she her role in Death Proof.
Yeah.
She is a legitimate actor.
Yeah.
Actor, because we don't use the term actress. She was a legitimate actor.
Yeah.
In a Tarantino film, she has been a legitimate actor in a Tarantino film for years. She's in Hateful Eight.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Django Unchained.
And Django.
So anybody that says levels all this rubbish at Tarantino, just look at his casting and his crews.
They do a sort of double bluff, with that Zoe Bell sequence, because you're hearing about this guy Randy that doesn't like Cliff, and you think, who the hell's this guy like? And then as soon as he pops on the screen, and you think, fuck Kurt Russell, of course, like. I like these new actors that are becoming his regulars, like Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. I don't know why it took so long to get Kurt Russell, actually, and like you say, Zoe Bell as well. It's like the new sort of version of Sam Jackson and Tim Roth, and the original sort of lineup from Reservoir Dogs.
I think if either Sam Jackson was available or there was a part for him, he'd have been in it, because Tarantino casts for his film. He won't put an actor in just because.
Yeah, just because they.
Yeah. It's like Michael Madsen. When I was looking at Michael Madsen and his costume, all I thought was Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, you look at Samuel L. Jackson, all the roles he's played in Tarantino movies, he's never played the same one.
No.
And actually, like I said, he does the casting is superb for the roles. DiCaprio and Pitt are perfect together.
They are, and I can't believe they've never worked together before. I'm pretty sure they haven't.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Unless there's like an indirect link, but I'm pretty sure they said in an interview it's the first time they worked together.
They're
But I
good.
don't know. They are very
They have
good, yeah.
they you
They
could
are.
imagine them, doing a
Oh,
buddy
doing something
movie,
again. Yeah, yeah.
as
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
the perfect chemistry.
It's the callbacks as well, like the fake film that Rick Dalton's in, like fake in our reality. But there's one called The 14 Fists of McCluskey,
Yeah.
and it's basically Inglourious Basterds where he's just torturing Nazis.
Oh,
It's such a good callback
Yeah.
to what's come before. This is the Tarantino verse, like where Hitler was killed.
Yeah.
By the Allies. So like all this stuff counts, and it's almost like the first MCU, if you like.
Yeah.
Like the building of characters where you go, like from going from Reservoir into Pulp Fiction, when you go, hang on, Vince Vega, I've heard that name before. Like, isn't that in? And then you do make these connections.
Vic and Vince, the Vega brothers.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only one that seems a bit disjointed is Jackie Brown, because it's based on an already existing novel. So, but yeah, the rest of them you can all tell they're in the same universe.
Yeah. And they have the same visual feel.
Yeah.
Even though he has progressed and he has changed as a writer, but
yeah,
they all have that same
style.
Yeah, and when you watch it, it's one thing. And this is why you can tell it's a Tarantino film. Is when you walk out of this film, and there's a lot of stuff in it that's not really necessary, but you're enjoying it because it's the visuals and it's the framing. Everything is and the music and everything. It's just it screams Tarantino.
Yeah, it's like a boiling pot of just all these different things, like recipes that you can chuck in that make a great, entertaining film. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Tarantino because of the talkiness, whereas I love that. Like, I love those scenes where they just sit down and they talk, sometimes utter shit.
Yeah.
They're like, but that's what real people do. They talk about crap. And the scene I'm thinking of mainly is, which is actually quite a nice scene, it's not talking crap at all, but when Rick sits down with the little girl on the Western set, and she's basically everything he used to be, and he breaks down when he's reading the novel about
it's like a washed up cowboy.
Yeah, he's got a funny name, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And then that scene later on when she says that he's one of the greatest actors she's ever seen, and he wells up. I genuinely felt for him as well, like, because we've all felt a moment in our life where we thought, I used to be good at this or that, and now I'm not. And like, that's real life mixed in with this fake real life that Hollywood is.
I'm Rick fucking Dalton.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I came out of the cinema going, I'm Rick Dalton.
Yeah, and I think like I read Empire's review of it, and they said there's no real sort of catchphrase for this Tarantino film, and I think that is the one, like, Rick fucking Dalton. When he just blows up in the mirror, that's laugh out loud hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's something probably only DiCaprio could do as well, where he does this self-deprecating, destructive thing that he always does, like the Calvin Candy thing where he smashes the glass, but he carried on because, like, even though he had a cut hand, that's the sort of dedication that DiCaprio has now that I never felt he had years ago. Not that he didn't have it, I just think he wasn't developed enough.
This boy's life, he eats the screen and he completely wipes the floor of Robert De Niro. I watched him do that. When I saw that film, I was blown away. Robert De Niro, as great as Robert De Niro is, he literally, this is when he was a kid. DiCaprio's always had talent, but the thing is, he did, after he did Titanic, he went, instead of, this is no disrespect to Kate Winslet, you see that after Titanic, she's done all, the exception of, I'd say, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's the last time I really saw her, other than, of course, the Virgin Film.
She's done a few.
She's never done anything that's...
No, massive, like, blew the screen.
Titanic.
Yeah.
But DiCaprio, from his links with Scorsese, he went for the whole...
Oh, yeah.
And Tarantino, pretty much every part he's took has been... he's not done safe, he's done what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the brilliance.
Yeah, I mean, like, say, after Titanic, there was kind of like, you saw DiCaprio pop up a few times. I mean, I specifically remember things like Man in the Iron Mask and Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
But I don't remember like constantly seeing him as you do now. But now, whenever you do see him, you're in for a treat because, like you say, he takes the role because he wants to do it, not because, Titanic's going to make me a lot of money, I'm going to play the pretty boy,
So there's a bit in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where the whole trailer scene.
Yeah.
I'm watching it. You know what?
Yeah, it's so funny.
Because the second time I watched it, I was looking for the cameras. You got a bit in the mirror. This is why Tarantino is so great is that I'm looking at the bit in the mirror, not watching the rest of it. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm looking for the cameras. I'm looking for I just want to just catch them out because and you can't.
No.
That whole scene, I'm like literally just looking for the crew or something to pop up because the way it's framed, and it seems to be done in one shot. A majority of it at least, and I'm like going, come on, I want to see, because you got a mirror that's pointing on the wall. I'm like, I'm going to see something I'll catch.
Yeah.
You don't.
But then like, you never know with Tarantino if it's deliberate, because a lot of the mistakes he puts in the films are like, it's the style, isn't it? Like in Inglourious Bastards, where the subtitles are wrong in some parts. Like characters will say "we" in French, and it will say "we" on the subtitle, not "yes." And I like that sort of. And the deliberate muck-ups of like editing in Kill Bill, because it's supposed to be like a 70s kung fu movie, isn't it? But I can never tell if I see a genuine mistake in a Tarantino film, whether it's deliberate.
I think the best things, if it is a mistake, or they don't like in a lot of genres say oh it's this way because of this, so they have to explain it like Stormtrooper banging their head or anything with Star Trek where they have to explain every continuity error.
Yeah,
I like it. It's film, it's a medium, and Tarantino loves the medium, and it's. You gotta, because I love cinema and you love cinema. We all love cinema because if you're listening to this, you obviously love it as well.
Yeah.
And I just thought that, I gotta say, this 10-minute review turned into our own 16 minutes analysis.
With Tarantino, doesn't it?
Yeah. So let's ramp this little analysis, not a review now.
No, we will get to our analysis of this in the continuing series. Yeah,
this is not part of the series. This was supposed to be a review, but we're keeping this because it's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's not been a review of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, what did you think? Final thoughts? Yeah, really.
It's not my favourite one of his films, but it's not his worst by a long shot. No. I mean, in my review, what I do for my own little page, I actually gave it a 4 out of 5 because
I'd give it 4.
It's up there. It's not like I said. I consider. Sorry to say this, I think Inglourious Bastards is his worst film.
Oh really?
Yep.
It was always Death Proof for me, but I have found a bit of extra love for that over the years, especially if you watch it on the Grindhouse cut. I think Death Proof for me, but
off the top of my head, 4 out of 9.
Yeah, his worst is still better than a lot of directors' best, isn't it? I mean,
oh yes, his worst will get you into the cinema.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because even just the style is what keeps you going, isn't it? Whereas a lot of directors, you would have there's a lot of directors nowadays that just direct safely. And it's just, when you're looking at your phone every 10 minutes, you know this is a film you need to turn off.
Oh, definitely. I'm giving this 4 out of 9.
4 out of 9?
Yeah.
As in, like, overall?
Yeah. 4 out of 9. I'm ranking it currently 4.
Oh, out of his films, right.
4
sorry.
out of 9.
I thought you meant, like, in general.
No, 4 out of 9.
Than that. I'd probably say it's, about 4, 5 maybe. I slightly like Inglourious a little bit more, but that's because I'm a level 2 mad.
Yeah, we're gonna continue this. Expect the longer version of very, very not shortly, but we are doing it in part of our Tarantino series.
Yeah.
So that's been a quick analysis of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino's nice 9th movie.
It is nice as well.
It is nice. It's nice 9th movie. Try saying that fast. See you all in another High Ground podcast.
See you later.